If you happen to be watching this and you're wondering, why does it look like she's wearing a dress from the 1950s? It's because I am wearing a dress from the 1950s. I was just trying it on for my scene that I'm doing. And I would tell you that there's some profound reason that I'm wearing it for this episode, but there's not. I was just too lazy to take it off. And I kind of like it. I really like the early 1900s fashion. I think the 20s are my favorite era, but I love 30s and 40s and 50s. I love the style, the clothes, the dresses, everything. And it makes me a little sad that we don't dress like this anymore. So I'm pretending that I'm living in 1943 today. Time management. Boys, that's something a lot of us struggle with. Before we talk about time management and some tips and tricks that I want to share with you when it comes to managing your time a little bit better, I want to talk about boredom. Boredom can either make us creative or feel creative enough to be very productive, or it can make us do some very bad things. I think a lot of problems and a lot of great things come from boredom. People are bored. Between taking our naps and feeding ourselves, keeping ourselves clean and alive and safe and healthy, what are we supposed to do with our life? I don't know. Nobody knows. So make something up. You figure something out, and this is what humans have done for all time. And it really is just humans. We don't really see birds out there making movies and art. I mean, arguably, okay, their nests and all the stuff they make is kind of cool, but they're doing that for survival. And spider webs make spider webs to catch their prey. And prey. Yeah, prey. Their prey. The prey. Oh my gosh. Why was I thinking the prey was the what's the one called who hunts the prey? Predator. Oh my gosh. It's not for art, right? Animals don't do these things for fun, but humans do. We do like to come up with all this cool stuff. And I think it's really neat to see what humans are capable of doing. But humans are also capable of very destructive things. And I really think it comes down to the mindset you are in when you have extra time. Because we all do have time, even though we lie to ourselves all the time and we say, I don't have time to read, I don't have time to do this. And yet here you are listening to some random person talk on the internet. You have time for that. You have time for scrolling on social media for hours a day. You have time to do all this stuff that you don't really need to do. Another important thing we need to talk about when it comes to this topic is lying. We all lie to ourselves. Even if we feel like we're very honest people, we all lie. And we all lie to different extents. We lie about why we were late. Oh, it's traffic. It's just things are so crazy right now and I have this and this. You were late. Probably because you didn't wake up on time or you stayed up a little bit too late or whatever. And I'm not sitting here telling you to start being harder on yourself and guilt tripping yourself and none of that. Actually, I'm very opposed to all of that. But what I'm saying is start becoming honest with yourself. I talk about this a lot. If you're going to go to the gym in the morning and you know that you're going to go early in the morning and you have the motivation, then that's great. But if you know you're not going to do it, if you know you're not a morning person and you're not going to do it, then don't tell yourself that you're going to do it. Because every time you tell yourself you're going to do something that you don't follow through with, you become dishonest with yourself. You do not trust yourself. You don't believe the things you say. Our words are very important, how we speak to ourselves. So what can you do? Well, don't give up. Don't just say, well, I might as well never try. But find something that's actually doable. Make it really easy on yourself. Don't complicate things. Do an easy workout or put your workout in a time during your day where, sorry, I just hit the microphone. Place your workout at some point during your day where you actually know that you'll get to it. Right now, my schedule is pretty nice. I have my workout time, I guess, between my two classes. So I have about a 2.5 hour window or so, around 2 hours, where I can walk to the gym, get a workout in, eat something. And that's in the afternoon. That's like at 11:30, 12. And it works out great for me because I'm not a morning person. I don't like waking up super early. I know if I tell myself, oh, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. before this thing I have early morning, I'm not going to do it. Chances are I'm not going to do it. So I make it easy on myself. I try to fit it in a time of day where it works for me. And I like to do it sooner because if I save it for the end of the day, I know I definitely won't go. When I come home at 7, 8 p.m. at night or whatever, I'm not going to the gym. I know I'm not going to go. I'm too tired. Even though I like working out, it's still a mental thing, right? That we have to push ourselves to start to go, right? So it's easier to do it at a time of day that's convenient for you, that makes it easiest. And starting is hard. Starting is really hard. Starting a new habit is difficult. But once you get into the routine, it becomes easy because it's just habit. Then it's just like, yeah, this is just what I do every week or every couple days a week. Hopefully you can go a couple days a week. So start becoming really honest with yourself and follow through with what you say. Set easy goals. Train yourself, because it really is a training. If you're really bad at this and you really have to start retraining yourself to be honest with yourself, hold yourself accountable by doing simple things, easy things. I'm a big believer in that. Everyone has their own approach. There's so many podcasts and people out there who talk about just do it, just have the discipline and get up and just go do a 4-hour workout and stop whining. And sure, maybe that works for some people. That stuff has never worked for me because it's a temporary solution, because it's motivated by, well, it is motivation that you're relying on for that. Unless you have an insane amount of discipline, you're solely relying on motivation to be able to push yourself that hard or to do extreme things, lose a lot of weight in a short amount of time, or read a bunch of books in a short amount of time. Whatever it is you're trying to do, that's going to require a lot of motivation. And most people get bored after a while. Which brings me back to boredom. Boredom is a great time to be in. To have time to be bored is amazing. I always used to say when I was young, I always piled my plate very high with things to do. I always was just doing so much and trying to make videos, and I was trying to keep up with school and work and everything that I've always been a busy person. But I always remember telling myself and people, I was like, I just want to be bored. I just want to get to the point where I am bored, where I have nothing to do. But then I'm also like, no, I like keeping busy. I like having a to-do list that is manageable. I don't like to be overwhelmed. I'll get to that in a little bit here, but let's talk about boredom because it's important. It's important because it fuels creativity. It can fuel creativity. I'm still laughing about my outfit because I'm just thinking of someone coming across this one video and they've never seen me before, and there's like, who is this little Amish Christian little girl? Find creativity in boredom. Boredom can either be very productive or it can be very destructive, depending how you use that time. We're all bored from time to time, and boredom can lead people to make some really horrible choices. We see a lot of crime. We see a lot of people who go and vandalize things and, I don't know, paint graffiti on buildings and all kinds of stuff. We see people do terrible things, and I'm not saying that's all due to boredom, but a lot of it is, because a lot of us don't know what we're supposed to be doing with our life and our time, and we're like, what am I supposed to be doing? I don't know what to do. But if you can use that boredom to think creatively, like what can I do with my time? How do I want to spend my time? What problems can I work on solving? How can I help people? How can I be of service to others? Boredom is an excellent time for us to think creatively. So I really urge you to think about that when you are feeling bored and you are drawn to your old habits of checking your social media, yada, 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 doing whatever it is that you know you don't feel good doing. Because it's okay to unwind, decompress, play games, do whatever it is people do. As long as it's not destructive to society, it's totally okay. But when we do things too much, obviously it leads us to feel not good about ourselves. We feel lazy and unproductive. And using that time to really think about what it is we can do and what we have access to, it can really change the outcome of our life. Because if we always look at what we don't have and we say, well, I don't have time, I don't have the money, I can't do this. It's like, well, maybe you can't do it the exact way that you want to do it, or the exact way that you envision it, or the exact way you think it has to be done. But maybe there's a different way. Maybe there's a different approach. Maybe you can collaborate with somebody who's really good in whatever it is you're trying to do. Obviously, I'm keeping it vague here. I don't know what it could be, but think about boredom in a different sense. That's the first thing that I want to talk about, because when we talk about time management, I don't really think it's just about people who have overly packed schedules, constantly go, 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 who have absolutely zero free time. We see that sometimes with people in movies, and that's the first thing that came to mind for me. It's like we open on this character she's super busy, she's super mom, or she's whatever, working for this company and juggling all these hobbies and extra everything, just doing absolutely everything. There are people like that in real life, of course, especially if you run your own business, if you have a big family to take care of. There are a lot of people who are truly super busy, and it's hard. For some people, they're just doing what they have to do to get by, and they're doing the very, very best that they can. But learning to prioritize things is important, like rest, recovering from the day. That's important. We can be much more productive when we rest. Sleep is important. I think sleep has been demonized by a lot of people. You don't need sleep, F sleep, get rich, that kind of mentality that's become popular, which I think is silly, because the less rest you get, if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to be slower, less productive. It's going to take longer to do things. I wouldn't recommend that. So rethink what productivity means. What is productivity? Productivity is really just working towards goals that you have set, that you want to achieve. How do you want your life to look? What is it that you want to do, and who do you want to be? And what steps do you have to take to get there? Those steps are productivity. That's being productive. Being productive isn't, well, my mom says I'm supposed to do this, or society says this, or my teacher, or that's not productivity. Figure out what you want to do. And remember that you probably can't do it all. I've talked about this before too. A lot of this is me repeating myself because it's what we do, right? I mean, sometimes I'm like, I'm going to say the same thing 100 times, but that's how it goes, right? A lot of people are very ambitious. They want to do a lot at the same time, and they want to be a parent, and they want to run their own company and have a cool social life and do exciting things and have hobbies, and you want to do a lot, right? And that's normal as people. We want to experience a lot. We're curious. We want to live life to the fullest, but I think we also have to think about the fact that we can't do it all, especially not at once. Maybe you can do things at different times. You focus on one thing. Okay, right now I really just need to focus on my career. Or right now I want to focus on my marriage because it's not doing so well, my family, or I need to focus on a relative who's sick, or whatever it is. Sometimes that's how life looks. Like we kind of have to hyper focus on one thing. It's not always perfectly balanced. And we can't do it all. We can't beat ourselves up when we feel like we're falling short and I'm not doing enough. And I know moms really struggle with this guilt that they're not doing enough and they're like literally keeping a human being alive. And to me, as long as you're taking care of your child and feeding them properly and not abusing them, I think you deserve a pat on the back. You can't be perfect. You can't make perfect decisions always. And we're all dealing with our own past trauma. Everybody has trauma. Trauma isn't just from experiencing abuse or something from your childhood. Trauma is being born. Birth is trauma. And that's the first trauma we all experience. We all have traumatic experiences in life. Sometimes they happen in nature. A giant tree falls in front of you and you almost died. I don't know. That would be kind of traumatic. There's a lot of different types of trauma that we all experience. We are just trying to operate in all this really dysfunction that we experience, or this, maybe I shouldn't say dysfunction, but our own discomforts and problems and stressors. So learn to prioritize self-care, slowing down, taking care of yourself. I came home yesterday. I was carrying a lot of things, as I usually do. I'm a woman. I don't know. We always have to bring 145,000 things to our car. And I'm walking back from the car, and I'm trying to find my keys to get in. And I'm like, wait, they're not in my pockets. I'm looking at my pants pockets. I can't see them or feel them. And I'm like, okay, it's not in my purse. And I'm going through everything. It's not that I'm starting to get stressed, like, oh my gosh, I lost my keys, because I was just in my car and obviously the car wouldn't work without the car key. So I know it's with me. I'm just like getting a little bit frustrated because I'm hungry. I want to get in the house. I want to eat. Then I took a deep breath. I kind of slowed down a little bit. And I remembered, oh yeah, I have a jacket pocket. And I reached over and I felt the keys in there. It made me realize how often when we are stressed or in a rush, we waste so much time because we think we have to move faster. We think we have to go, oh my gosh, where are my things? So I can't find my keys, my phone, and I can't. And you start to panic, right? You start to work yourself up. What happens is when you panic is you cannot think straight. You're not thinking clearly. You're panicking, right? You're not thinking at all. You're just purely acting on emotion and anxiety. That's why it's important to slow down, to take a deep breath. And it seems contradictory, right? Because you want to hurry up because you're in a rush. Slowing down allows you to think. And when you can think, you can reach a solution a lot faster. You can find the thing you're looking for a lot faster because you're thinking logically. Where did I put it? Oh, that's where I put it. Slow down. Take deep breaths. Take care of yourself. Rest. Recover. Resting is a priority. If you have a busy, packed schedule and you feel guilty saying no to things, and you have someone ask you if they can, or you can help them, or you can do something if you're available, right? On a Friday evening or whatever. It doesn't even have to be Friday evening, anytime. But you'd plan to go take a bath or just relax or get a massage or something. Yeah, that's your plan. That counts. That's important. You need to take care of yourself so you can take care of other people, so you can take care of all the tasks that you have to get done. You have to take care of yourself. That was really important for me to talk about in this topic of time management, is self-care, because it is productive. So rethinking what is productive, that's the first step. And like I said, I think a lot of it for people who are just running around and they feel like they have poor time management and they're always late and they're always rushing to everything. It's like you have to keep going backwards, right? You have to look at, okay, no, I was late. Why was I late? Well, I was late because my morning routine took a little longer than it should. And why did it take longer? It's because I didn't give myself enough time, because I didn't wake up on time. Why didn't I wake up on time? Because I was tired. Why was I tired? Because I stayed up a little too late, or because I ate right before sleep. That's something I realized too. For many years, I've been eating dinner super late and I don't get restful sleep. Even if I sleep 8 hours, I'll wake up exhausted. And now I'm starting to realize it's because I eat late. And I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that when you eat a big meal before sleep, either your body can prioritize digesting the food or getting restful sleep. So if you can't do both, essentially. Again, look into this for yourself, because I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's just what I heard. And it kind of makes sense to me, at least, where I'm like, you know what? I do feel very tired when I eat a lot before bed. And when I eat earlier, and I get more restful sleep, and I don't need as much sleep either. I can get by on, 6-7 hours. I'm like, okay, I feel really good. Take care of yourself. It's important. The next point I want to make is something that I've heard other people talk about, and I agree. I think it's quite important. Environment is stronger than willpower. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you're trying to change your habits, you're trying to change your life, you're trying to make better choices, healthier choices, willpower probably isn't enough. Thinking your way there, thinking that you're strong enough to just do something. I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm going to start this new routine on Monday. I'm going to start working out and drinking a gallon of water and this whole list of things that you're going to change. First of all, good luck. You're probably not going to be able to do that. Start with one thing at a time. Start with the most important thing and go from there. But environment is stronger than willpower is saying that don't put yourself in situations and places that make it really hard for you to make good decisions. Yes, that might mean you have to cut out some friends or not see certain people as much, or don't go to certain places that might trigger you, or some old habits. For me, it's the apps on my phone, my social media. I can't keep any of that stuff. Even though I don't enjoy looking at it, I just habitually click on it when it's on my phone. It's like I have this impulse to check something. So when I just remove it all, that is gone. I've changed my environment, so I don't have to even worry about that my willpower or having to be disciplined. I just removed the problem. Out of sight, out of mind, as they say. That is my recommendation as well, as you're trying to change things up. Keep that in mind. Don't make it hard for yourself. Whatever you do, don't make it hard and challenging. It's already hard enough. Humans, we don't like change. We like habits. We like our habits. We like our routines because they don't require us to think. It's just autopilot, right? You don't have to worry so much about, okay, what am I supposed to do? No, my habits are just allow me to just be and just to do what I usually do. So changing things up is hard. So don't be too hard on yourself as you're trying to change things up, because that's really what this is about, right? Time management is changing how you use your time and how you prioritize things and trying to be more productive, trying to be on time more. I think that's a big element in this, is actually showing up on time. What does that involve? What does me showing up on time involve? Well, I have to be honest with myself. We talked about that earlier. Being honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself to make yourself feel better. Okay, this commute is going to take me, it's 20 minutes, but I really need 35. I want to give myself an extra 15 to park so I can go take my time, look at the sky before I go in. Oh, look how that cloud looks like a little dog or something. Yeah, that's really pretty. I like those trees. I think we need to slow down and just notice what's around us and take it in. We're just so point A to point B focused. I have to get here. I have to do this. I have to go do and all this. Sometimes you just stop and breathe and look at what's around you. See something different that you haven't seen before and appreciate your life. Even if it feels like it's not a good life, even if you feel unhappy, even if you feel like you don't have much, you're alive. You have this body. You can appreciate something about it. You can find something to appreciate about yourself, about your life, about being here, being able to experience things, having the ability to grow as a person, to become better. You can always find something. It's a choice. So, yeah, slow down. Remember that, to slow down, take your time, even if it seems like a contradiction, because it's like, no, I need to move faster because I have so much to do. It's really just about slowing yourself down, allowing things to take time, and as much as possible, get rid of people who challenge that for you. I know it's hard if you work for somebody who is maybe not the greatest. They stress you out. They overwork you. I know so many humans on this planet who live life that way. It's cruel and unfair. Not much I can say to that, unfortunately. A lot of people are out here just doing their best, doing what they have to do to survive. But become conscious of the things that you can change and be honest with yourself. I'm going to keep repeating that, but be honest with yourself. What can I really change? What can I do better? What can I improve on? What do I have to accept and just let go and say, yeah, well, this is out of my control right now, but these things I can work on. I can make sure that I eat as best I can, make sure I drink enough water, stay hydrated, rest enough, make sure I move my body so I feel healthy and strong. Those are things you don't really need a lot of money or time to do, right? It's just about reprioritizing things, spending less time doing unproductive things, right? You have to make those choices every day because your choices make up who you are. Every day you wake up and you make choices, that is who you are as a person. So if you want to be somebody else, you have to take a look at the choices that you make every day. And if you're always late, then you have to sit down and go, okay, well, why am I always late? What is causing me to be late? Because I know I'm going to sound a little mean here, but I think it's a terrible excuse to use your kids or my culture. I have so many friends who use their culture as an excuse for being late. They're all excuses at the end of the day. Like we are not late. It's not a biological trait to be late. It's still a choice, right? And when I say choice, it's the choices that you made leading up to being late. So how can you make different choices? Maybe you have to trick yourself a little bit and start setting, if it's a 2 o'clock appointment or 2 o'clock thing, then write it down as 1:30. And then when you're 20 minutes late, hey, look at that, you're 10 minutes early. I don't know. That might work, but maybe not. But you really have to take a look at the patterns, because if it's a pattern that you're always late, then you need to figure out why. And I can't sit here and tell you why, because I don't know who you are, but you have to sit down and think about that. It's because I wake up too late. Why am I waking up too late? Why do I not give myself enough time? Because I don't sleep enough. Or what can I do in the evening to get myself to bed sooner? What can I prepare the night before? That's another thing. I like to do that. When I go to bed, I make sure that my house is tidy, all the dishes are done, everything is clean and prepared for myself. I'm trying to make life easier for future me. That's how I constantly think. Because if I neglect things in the present moment, I don't take care of things and I push it to later and I push it to I'll do it tomorrow, I'm just burdening my future self. I feel like I'm rewarding myself because, yay, I don't have to do it. But what I'm really doing is punishing myself. I'm punishing the future me. So start changing your language and how you view things as I'm rewarding myself when I take care of things. I'm rewarding myself. I'm rewarding the future me. I'm rewarding myself so that I don't have to take care of this later. It's done. So when I wake up tomorrow, I might have a few extra things to do, but it's a lot less, and I'm saving myself time. And that's a hack for those of us who are not morning people. If you're a morning person, then that's probably not going to apply to you. I think we covered quite a bit here today. I don't want to make this super long, but this is a topic I enjoy talking about and helping people with. So if there's something you're struggling with specifically, let me know. Maybe I can help you out, give you some tips. I'm not sitting here like I'm perfect and I'm never late, because I am late every now and then, and I'm not always perfectly productive, and I struggle with all these things. These things are hard. It's hard to be a human, okay? It's hard. It's hard being out here doing things and keeping yourself alive, but there are always ways to make things easier for ourselves, and I'm all about that. I'm all about easy methods, I should say, because there's no such thing as easy. Nothing's ever easy. Everything requires effort and hard work if you want nice things and a nice life. But I'm all about finding easier ways and hacks, tips and tricks. I hope you got something from today. Like I said, leave any questions or suggestions that you have. I always appreciate that, and like reading what you guys have to say. Any comments, feedback, critique, anything. Take care of yourself, and I will be back for more soon.